a lot of time management advice focuses on the day itself. Okay, your morning routine, your to-do list, and that is all daily based. Now, founders really live at the mercy of the week. That's because your priorities are shifting and the meetings are moving and fires are happening. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to zoom out from the day to the week itself and look at that as a real unit of design and look at how to build a structure flexible enough to survive contact with the real founder's schedule. Now, why does the week matter more than the day for founders specifically? Well, if you plan very tightly at a daily level, then one urgent client call or one fire completely derails your plan. And then you're spending the rest of the day feeling like they failed at your own system. Now, instead, what we do is if we design instead at the weekly level, then we're protecting certain kinds of time on certain days rather than precise hours. And an urgent Tuesday, for example, then doesn't wreck your whole week because you've got Wednesday or Thursday built in as a kind of a buffer or flex. And the week really absorbs shock much more than what a single day cannot do. Now, time blocking gets a bad reputation because people try to block every single task, which then collapses the first time that something actually changes. So what we want to do is, instead of blocking by category, let's use the owner, operator, and admin split that we understood from a previous module. And what we want to do is absolutely protect the owner work blocks first. And let's put them in the calendar before anything else. And ideally at the time of the day that you think that you're most clearly able to deal with it. And then let the operator and the admin work fill in around them. Now, the key discipline is in sequencing it. Let's protect the irreplaceable time first, and then let everything else negotiate for what's left. Let it sort of discover where it actually needs to fit in properly, not the other way around. Now, alongside blocking by category, we're going to also batch similar tasks together so that you can, let's say, do all your calls in one window of time, or all your invoicing and admin in another, and all your content or writing work in a third. Every time you switch between different types of work, there's actually a hidden cost that in the first few minutes, it actually takes your time really to reinvent and reorient and resituate itself. And across a week, that is going to add up to real hours being lost. So batching isn't really just about rigid perfectionism. It's really about reducing how often you are going to be paying those switching costs. Now, here's this thing that a lot of founders skip most often, which is leaving real buffer in the week. Somewhere really around a fifth to a third of your time is genuinely unscheduled. Now, this feels counterintuitive because when you're busy, it shows, right? That you feel that that's the good thing to do, but it's exactly what really makes the rest of the plan survivable. And so buffer is really where the inevitable fire, the urgent client request, the unexpected problem actually goes, instead of eating into the owner work blocks that you've protected. So a week with no buffer isn't an efficient week. It's really a week that's one surprise away from falling apart completely. Now, beyond daily blocking, it also helps to build a few fixed rhythms. And we put these into every week. So a short planning block at the start of the week where you really set you up your top outcomes using the rituals that we discussed earlier, or a protected deep work block midweek for your highest leverage owner work. At whatever point in the week that you tend to have the most clarity. and a short review at the end of the week. And we'll build this out properly in another module where you are going to be checking out what actually happened against what you planned. And these 3 fixed points, they give the week a shape, even when the content of each day is varying. Now, it's worth naming the link back to your business model canvas directly, because this is how we systemize things. Now, designing your week is, in effect, deciding how you are personally resourcing your key activities. Okay, so you are one of your own key resources, right? And how you actually allocate your hours across the week is a really direct resourcing decision, exactly like deciding how you're going to be allocating budget or headcount. So treat your own calendar with the same seriousness that you apply to any other resource on the canvas. Okay, let's recap. So block your week by category with owner work first, and then batch things that are similar, and then leave a real buffer and build in a fixed weekly rhythms. Once you decide a week like this, then there's one more problem to solve, which is other people. However, well, that you decide or define your own week, someone else's urgency will always try to take it from you. And that's exactly what we're going to cover next.